Hey YouTube, Wes here checking in with a brand new episode of The Vinyl Survivor. Hope you all are doing well, having a great day, great night, whenever it is you're watching this. Hope you're staying safe, staying healthy, staying at home, and listening to some great music. Let's go ahead and get into this episode of Vinyl Survivor. I believe we're on 162, somewhere around there anyway. I've sort of lost track at this point. And I don't have any notes for this episode either. I'm just going to wing it and talk about these records and get them filed away. If you're new to the Vinyl Survivor, this is kind of the final reckoning of albums I have purchased before they enter my permanent collection. And this section you see behind me is what I consider my permanent collection, things I have listened to multiple times and decided that there's something I want to definitely keep for a long time anyway. So, I have a lot of other records that I've purchased in the past. They're sort of what I call my inbox, so I keep those records separate. And after a while, sort of going through the years, pulling them out from time to time and listening to them. And then one last time before I show them here on the show, I do sort of a very serious listening session to each one. And that's sort of the final decision on whether they're going to be staying in the collection or they just weren't for me. So let's go ahead and get into this. The first one I have here to share with you is one from the 80s, I believe, 1986. John McLaughlin and Mahavishnu, Adventures in Radioland. Of course, John McLaughlin, excellent guitarist. Not much needs to be said about John McLaughlin. Amazing artist. This one, while the guitar playing on here is excellent, it definitely is very dated sounding. It has a very 80s sound, and not in a good way. It gets into the point where it's kind of a smooth jazz kind of sound at points. It just was overall a turnoff for me. So unfortunately, even though I paid a pretty good amount for this, it's not for me. So it is a nice copy, so I'm going to be putting this on my Discogs store. So if anyone's interested in that, there's always a link in the show notes to all my videos to my Discogs store, so you can check that out. It's Deep Dish Records is my name there. So I just have an original printed inner sleeve here, just some photos. As you see, all the liner notes that are there on the back of this one, and that's on the Relativity Records label. So John McLaughlin and Mahavishnu, Adventures in Radioland. Unfortunately, just not something I think I need to keep, and not something I would see myself pulling out again, even though I do have John McLaughlin and Mahavishnu stuff in the collection. Just don't need to have it all. All right, the next thing I have to share with you is a Vinyl Me Please issue of Bad Bad Not Good albums titled 4. So this is an exclusive pressing to Vinyl Me Please, but it did come out in July of 2016 when the album was released. But it got this custom cover. It's yellow instead of blue, basically. kind of the main difference anyway between the two covers. Bad Bad Not Good are kind of an odd mixture of, they mix like funk and soul, hip hop, some jazz elements in there. Just a very chill kind of vibe, very smooth kind of vibe. To be honest with you, I didn't love this. It's okay. It kind of sounds like background music to me, something you just put on in the background and have a cool, chill out, kind of relaxing kind of time. But it didn't really inspire me to really pay close attention to it. Show the gatefold on this one. Gatefold, and this being a Vinyl Me Please exclusive, it is on this sort of plum colored vinyl. Very nice 2 LP set there. There is the exclusive Vinyl Me Please art print that goes along with the album as well. Bad Bad Not Good's 4, it's just okay in my opinion. I'm going to be keeping this in the collection because thus far I have not gotten rid of any Vinyl Me Please essential albums of the month that I've received from them. So far I've just decided to keep them all, even the ones I don't particularly like, which it's rare that I really don't like a Vinyl Me Please essential album. But there have been a few that I just didn't really care for. But thus far I have not gotten rid of any of them. I just want to hold on to them for now. So this one's staying in the collection. Not something necessarily I would pull out and listen to, but something maybe maybe a friend would want to hear. There are people who are more into this kind of music than I am, but yeah, I probably won't pull this out and listen to it myself, but maybe if a friend wants to hear it. So I didn't really care for Bad Bad Not Good, and that was my introduction to Bad Bad Not Good, is that album. So I don't know. All right, the next thing I have to share for you, going back to probably the 60s at some point. 1966 is the year on this one. Album by Chet Atkins. Chet Atkins picks on the Beatles. So Chet Atkins doing his thing, but playing Beatles songs. And I really, really dug this. This was really cool to listen to. It gives his own flair to all these Beatles songs, and they're songs you know and love, but really well played, really interesting. I just really dug hearing this and hearing these songs, and so yeah, this is definitely a recommended album if you see it out in the wild. You often see Chet Atkins albums, the RCA Victor label. So being 66, it's all sort of early Beatles stuff. Yesterday, If I Fell, Can't Buy Me Love, I'll Cry Instead, Hard Day's Night, I'll Follow the Sun, And I Love Her, Michelle, She Loves You, a couple others on here. Just, yeah, really excellently played instrumental cover versions of Beatles songs by Chet Atkins. So definitely staying in the collection. I dug it. I recommend it. If you see it, grab it, especially if you're a Beatles fan. I think you'll enjoy this one. So, all right, next thing I have to share with you is a release from a vinyl community member, actually. This is something I bought this probably 4 or 5 years ago now at this point. This was recorded in 2013 and released in 2014, and that is Roger Coleman and Sam Bird with Cosmologies is the name of this album that they did. Roger plays the piano and Sam plays the drums, I believe, is how this goes. So just piano and drums, jazz, improvisational type sounding stuff. It was pretty enjoyable to listen to. I mainly bought this just to support vinyl community members, especially when they put out stuff on vinyl. I try to support them. So I picked up some stuff in the past from vinyl community members who've released things on vinyl, and this is one of them. And not normally something I would buy. Not normally something I would buy, but I definitely enjoyed hearing this and knowing that it's a vinyl community member that I enjoy watching Roger's videos and seeing what he collects and stuff. So it's cool to have a piece of his music in my collection. So for that reason, this is definitely staying in the collection, even though it's not normally something I would typically listen to or purchase. It does have some neat custom labels, sort of red and black, and then black and red on black vinyl. And they hand pressed all these covers here, and they're all kind of unique in that way, which is really neat. So all the covers are kind of different, but yeah, really cool. Just to have a piece of, as I said, a piece of music from a vinyl community member. So that's why I have that one, and that's why that's staying in the collection. Next up, got a piece of now classic hip hop for you. Warren G's debut album, G-Funk. Regulate G-Funk Era from 1994, I believe. And this was a 20th anniversary reissue from 2014. Of course, you got the classic Regulate on here. This is just a killer hip-hop album. I have loved this album ever since it came out, basically. It's like 36 minutes long, and it's awesome all the way through. It's just one I can just put on and listen to the whole thing in one sitting. And just all the songs sort of flow together. Great flow, great music. Really classic stuff. So when they did this reissue, I had to get it. This one does have an inner sleeve with some liner notes and a couple of photos, which is nice. And the nice thing about this reissue is it is a 2 LP set. So of course the LP itself, being only 36 minutes long, fits perfectly fine on one single LP. So you get the original LP there. And then the second piece of vinyl is more like a 12-inch, I could say. You get a couple of remixes on here. You get the Regulate, Destructo, and Wax Motif remix, and then you get Regulate Photech remix. So a couple of remixes of Regulate as a bonus disc for the 20th anniversary edition. Yeah, really nicely done package, and not too expensive. I don't know if this is still available, but if you're a fan, you kind of got to have this. So Warren G's Regulate G-Funk Era. Highly recommended. Excellent 20th anniversary reissue of this, and this is definitely staying in my collection. All right, next up I have another Vinyl Me Please Essential Album of the Month for you, and this is My Morning Jacket's Z. Very nice reissue of this. I think this may have been a 2006 album, and it was the 10th anniversary, something around that time period, I believe. My Morning Jacket are an indie rock group. This was, again, my introduction to this group. Hadn't really listened to My Morning Jacket before, but really dug this one. Excellent album, just of the indie rock realm, indie rock genre. Really nice artwork as well. Dug it a lot. So yeah, definitely should probably get some more My Morning Jacket in the collection, because I do really enjoy this, and I have really been enjoying listening to it over the past few years since I got it. This is a 2 LP set they did on a splattered vinyl. Very cool splattered vinyl there. Sort of a clearish vinyl with blue, white, and black in there to match the artwork somewhat, or I guess it's a blue, pink, and black. And the second LP looks the same, so I won't pull it out, but there's the art print that comes with the Vinyl Me Please packaging, and yeah, definitely, as I said, definitely dug this. I really enjoyed listening to this. I may have to spin this one more time before I file it away in the collection back there, but yeah, I really like this My Morning Jacket, so I need to check out some more of their stuff for sure. So that one is staying. All right, next up we're going back to the 80s, and this is the album Parade by Spandau Ballet from 1984, I think. Yeah, 1984 is the year on this one. I don't know if there were any big hits on here. I don't remember anything on here that really was recognizable to me. Spandau Ballet are mostly known for their big hit True. And this sort of follows along with that sort of cool jazz pop sort of sound to it. And overall, I didn't like this at all. I was hopeful. It's got really cool artwork. I do like some Spandau Ballet stuff, but overall, I just didn't care for this album at all. So unfortunately, this one's not going to be staying with me. Another one that will probably end up in the Discogs store there. There's a photo of the group there, and some lyrics, and custom labels on Chrysalis. So yeah, Spandau Ballet's Parade, unfortunately, wasn't for me, and it's not going to be staying in the collection. All right, next up, I got a little bit of prog for you. This is the group Trace from 1974 with their self-titled album. And yeah, this is just noodly over-the-top prog music. If you're a prog fan, this is just awesome. Sometimes you just got to have some over-the-top prog, and that's what this is, all over the place. Really cool keyboards and synthesizer kind of stuff on here. Yeah, I enjoyed this through and through. Wasn't, they're not a real well-known group, so it wasn't like I was hearing a bunch of stuff I heard from classic rock radio or whatever. This is all kind of new to me, and I had fun listening to this, and just noodly crazy prog stuff, and very keyboard heavy, so I definitely liked that aspect of it. So if you're a prog fan, I can definitely recommend this. Nice insert with lyrics and some photos and stuff in there. It's pretty cool. It's on the Sire Records label. So yeah, Trace, really cool prog, short-lived group. I think a couple of these people were in other groups along the way. You got Rick van der Linden, Jaap van Eyck, and Pierre van der Linden. But yeah, fun album. Really enjoyed it, really dug it, and definitely going to be staying in my collection. All right, next up we got I guess you could call this classic rock. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, 9 Tonight, live album from them. I believe this is their second live album. Yeah, I mean, all the big Bob Seger stuff is on here. The title track, 9 Tonight, Night Moves, Let It Rock, Hollywood Nights, Against the Wind. Bob Seger is one of those groups you either love him or you hate him, and I kind of enjoy it. He's kind of I kind of put him in the realm as he's kind of the Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band are kind of like the Dave Matthews Band of their day. They're very commercially aimed, but the playing is really good. The musicianship is really good, and you just can't deny that these songs are really catchy and enjoyable. And some people can't stand it, but for me, I dig it. So this is going to be staying in my collection. And the inserts have some nice full color photos, the inner sleeves anyway, and custom labels, Capitol Records. So Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, 9 Tonight, absolutely staying in the collection. Definitely recommend getting that one if you like Bob Seger at all. It's definitely an enjoyable concert to listen to. Sounds really good. I will give it that. Okay, and last but definitely not least, we have Simon and Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Water from 1970. Classic one from them. You got Bridge Over Troubled Water, El Condor Pasa, Cecilia, The Boxer. Just classic stuff from them. Unfortunately, this particular copy is not going to be staying in the collection because it has some skips on it. So I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Just a little too rough, but it's on the Columbia 2i label. So yeah, it's Bridge Over Troubled Water. Great classic album. Definitely enjoyed listening to it. But unfortunately, this is not good enough quality to stay in the collection. So it's going to be going away. So that's going to do it for this episode of The Vinyl Survivor. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. As I said in the beginning, I hope you're all doing well. Please stay safe, be careful, enjoy some great music, and have a great night. And we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.